If you've ever walked into a sprawling sports bar and just stared at a massive wall of screen.
Yeah, perfectly synchronized.
Exactly. Dozens of games, zero glitches. You might think, well, they just have a really long HDMI cord plugged into the back. But today, we're doing a deep dive into the actual hidden infrastructure behind all that magic. We're looking at a pretty dense product listing from HDTV Supply for this highly specific piece of enterprise AV software. It's the Vitec AvediaStream G4401-1STR-SW module.
Which is quite a mouthful, I know. But it really is a crucial piece of the puzzle here. And what's super interesting is that, this isn't even a physical box.
Right, it's just a license.
Exactly. It is literally just a software license that sits inside a piece of hardware, which is called an IP gateway. And its sole job, its only real purpose, is to allow the transmission of exactly one single video channel over a network.
Wait, let's break down how that actually works for a second. Because in AV over IP networking, you're basically chopping a live video feed into these tiny digital data packets.
Right, exactly.
So instead of thinking of this software as a simple toll booth, it's maybe more like a highly organized post office sorting facility. Like, this specific license is the routing label that tells the sorting machine, which is the hardware gateway, exactly where to send those video packets across the local network.
That is spot on. And crucially, this specific software supports something called SRT transmission.
Okay, and what is that?
It stands for Secure Reliable Transport. So think about a really busy local network where data packets might get delayed or, just completely drop.
Like when your home Wi-Fi stutters during a movie.
Yeah, exactly like that. But SRT uses real-time error correction and predictive buffering. It actually senses when video packets are missing and recovers them before the image is ever even drawn on the screen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that is how the video avoids stuttering completely.
Okay, that makes sense. But I do have to ask, why on earth would a venue buy a software license for just one single channel? I mean, you can get 100 channels on a standard consumer cable package. Buying them one by one just feels, I don't know, incredibly limiting.
Well, it definitely does if you're thinking about your living room. But enterprise AV is built entirely around strict modular scalability.
Meaning you only buy what you absolutely need.
Precisely. You only pay for the exact processing power and bandwidth you need, scaling up channel by channel. Because the environments deploying these systems are vast, and, well, budgets have to be allocated efficiently.
Which makes total sense when you look at the surrounding HDTV supply catalog. Because we're not just talking about one TV. We're talking about gigabit networks and these huge Wolfpack matrix switchers built for 36, 80, or even 160 screens.
Yeah, massive setups.
And a matrix switcher isn't just a basic splitter, right? It's more of a dynamic grid.
Exactly. I mean, a simple splitter just copies one video to multiple screens.
Yeah.
But a matrix switcher allows any input, say 20 different satellite receivers, to be instantly and independently routed to any combination of those 160 outputs.
So you could have a basketball game on screens 1 through 50, a horse race on screen 51, and just swap them all instantly.
Yep, completely seamlessly.
Yeah. But when I see hardware built to handle 160 TVs simultaneously, I mean, I'm trying to picture the real-world stakes of actually installing that. What kind of venue actually needs to route video to 160 different TVs?
Think of a massive casino sportsbook or a global trading floor. The stakes in those places are entirely monetary.
Yeah.
If a video feed drops its packets during the final minutes of a championship game or, a financial broadcast stutters, people lose their minds.
They lose real money instantly. Which is why the SRT error correction we talked about earlier is so critical.
Right, which completely recontextualizes the human element behind all this hardware. Because building a 160-screen grid isn't just a fun networking puzzle. It's a high-stress, high-stakes endeavor. And the customer reviews on HDTV Supply's site actually capture this perfectly.
They really do. It reminds you that there are actual stressed-out technicians in the trenches wiring up these sprawling grids.
Yeah, there's this hilariously pragmatic 5-star review from a user named John M. He wrote, quote, "When I called, the staff was less than friendly but answered my question." And he still gave them a perfect 5-star rating.
Exactly.
The company actually replied with a very earnest apology for their tone, but it perfectly illustrates the reality of B2B tech. Like, when you are installing a multi-million-dollar video matrix and the system is glitching an hour before opening, you don't need a warm, chatty customer service rep.
No, you definitely don't.
You need an engineer who is technically right and knows how to fix a packet drop issue on an SRT stream. Utility and accuracy completely trump pleasantries.
John didn't need a friend, he just needed his data packets to stop dropping. So, today in our deep dive, we've journeyed from a single, hyper-specific software license sorting video packets all the way up to the gigantic matrix switchers that power our modern venues,
Huh.
all kept running by these brilliantly pragmatic engineers.
You know, the most impressive technology truly is the kind you never actually see.
Absolutely. So, the next time you're out staring at a flawless wall of live sports, maybe look a little closer at the drywall. Think about that invisible digital infrastructure, the individual software routing licenses, the hardware gateways buffering errors in real time, and the miles of Cat6 cable silently working together. And maybe tip your hat to the stressed out technician who didn't care about a friendly greeting but just made sure you caught the winning play.